and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. The Office of the Prime Minister travel costs far exceeding those of the previous administration, $58 million on travel spent since 2021. The PLP chairman says criticism over government travel is nonsense. And customers going wild over new egg prices, super value slashing prices. We'll tell you what role the government played in that. All ahead. That's coming up. This is Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Tuesday, March 4th, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Duquessidine is off today. Also this morning, the countdown is on to the CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championship. It's going to be right here in Nassau. We'll get the details about it and meet some of the Junkanoo boys who are going to be taking part in that event. And later in business, it's our monthly segment with Maison Bahamas on real estate. We've got the hottest retail and commercial properties for you for the month of March and a whole lot more coming up. That's all ahead. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, the Davis administration spent $58 million on travel in the first 3.5 years of its term, compared to the $38.6 million spent during the Minutes administration's 4.5 years in office. And despite a claim by Director of Communications in the Office of the Prime Minister, Lecrae Ramming, that the Prime Minister's travel costs have been consistent with that of the former Prime Minister, the numbers show otherwise. The PLP took office in September 2021, defeating the FNM and its leader, Dr. Minnis, who was hugely unpopular at the time. The government under Davis spent $11.8 million on travel in its first fiscal year, $8.7 million in the second, $17.5 million in the 23-24 fiscal year, and between July and December 2024, $10 million. You can read about how that compares to the previous administration in today's Nassau Guardian. Meanwhile, PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell criticizing the FNM about the government's responding to criticism from the FNM about the government's increased travel budget, calling it nonsense, saying in a voice note to PLP supporters, quote, they keep running on about travel expenses. He asked the FM to explain the cost of a 2018 trip to Texas by then Prime Minister Hubert Minnis and a delegation. The Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources revealing that a new egg supplier sourced by SuperValue has allowed the grocery store chain to bring egg prices back down to just over $3 per dozen. SuperValue's new supplier has also allowed the store to sell the eggs as SuperValue branded eggs. Meanwhile, SuperValue, the move to source the eggs from producers outside of the U.S. was in response to the government's call on the business sector to begin sourcing products outside their regular supply chains in order to get the best prices for Bahamians. That's according to Chairman of the Bahamas Trade Commission, Senator Barry Griffin. He says that the Trade Commission launched the National Trade Diversification Program last year, a nationwide initiative to encourage retailers, wholesalers, and importers to expand their sourcing beyond traditional markets. A Jamaican woman accused of stabbing her live-in lover and co-accused in a child abuse case remanded for a psychiatric evaluation. Prosecutors allege that 24-year-old Fadine Aspinall stabbed Augbert Cunningham in the head on February 27th and threatened to kill him. Acting Chief Magistrate Karen Vogue Evans says deferred Aspinall's arraignment on charges of grievous harm and threats of death until she receives a psychiatric report. At the time of the alleged offenses, Aspinall was on bail for manslaughter by negligence in the death of her 4-year-old son, Kamari Aspinall, and child cruelty. The child was found dead in a bathtub on March 5, 2024, with visible injuries about the body. Cunningham is charged with failing to report the abuse of a minor. Overseas, U.S. President Donald Trump's long-threatened tariffs against Canada and Mexico went into effect today, putting global markets on edge and setting up costly retaliations by the United States' North American allies. Starting just past midnight, imports from Canada and Mexico are now to be taxed at 25%, with Canadian energy products subject to 10% import duties. The 10% tariff that Trump placed on Chinese imports in February was doubled to 20%, and Beijing retaliated today with tariffs of up to 15% on a wide array of U.S. farm exports. It also expanded the number of U.S. companies subject to export controls and other restrictions by about 24. Meanwhile, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau saying his country would slap tariffs on more than $100 billion of American goods over the course of 21 days. Mexico didn't immediately detail any retaliatory measures. The U.S. president's moves raising fears of higher inflation and the prospect of a devastating trade war, even as he promised the American public that taxes on imports are the easiest path to national prosperity. He's shown a willingness to buck the warnings of mainstream economists and put his own public approval on the line, believing that tariffs can fix what ails the country. And Ukrainians grappling today with the ramifications of a U.S. decision to pause military aid that is critical to their fight against Russia's invasion, as a rift between Kyiv and Washington deepens. Days after an explosive meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, U.S. President Donald Trump ordered the assistance halted in a bid to pressure Kyiv to engage in peace talks with Russia. Ukraine and its allies are concerned Trump is pushing for a quick ceasefire that will favor Russia, and Kyiv is looking for security guarantees to ward off possible future Russian invasions. A White House official said the U.S. was pausing and reviewing its aid to ensure that it is contributing to a solution. The order will remain in effect until Trump determines that Ukraine has demonstrated a commitment to peace negotiations with Russia. Ukraine, which depends heavily on foreign help to hold back the Russian invasion, has feared that aid could be stopped since Trump took office. In sports, a number of swimmers qualifying for the Crifta Swimming Championships at the Blue Wave Swim Club Invitational at the Betty Kelly Kenning National Aquatic Center over the weekend. In total, 11 swim clubs participated in the two-day meet. Crifta Swimming is set for the Easter holiday weekend in Trinidad and Tobago. In the club competition, Mako Aquatics prevailing with 1,932.50 points. The Blue Wave Swim Club followed with 1,126, and Barracuda Swim Club finishing third with 782 points. Several swimmers qualified, and you can read all about it in today's Guardian Sports section. Bahamas Youth Flag Football League is staging a free football camp. Kicked off on Saturday. The camp is going to run for 3 weeks, concluding on March 15th. Opening day celebrating two major events, the commencement of the league's 2025 season and the introduction of RBC as an anchor sponsor for the year. From the NBA, Kyrie Irving suffering left knee sprain Monday night and shot free throws for the Mavericks with tears rolling down his cheeks before leaving the floor in obvious pain late in the first quarter of the Dallas Mavericks' 122-98 loss to the Sacramento Kings. Irving was fouled by DeMar DeRozan on a drive to the basket, and his right foot landed on the foot of the Kings' Jonas Valanciunas. He lost his balance and then landed awkwardly on his left leg, and his knee appeared to be hyperextended before he fell to the floor. The Mavericks providing no post-game update on the nature of Irving's injury. And more from the NBA. Cade Cunningham had 29 points, 9 assists, and 4 steals. And the Detroit Pistons beat the Utah Jazz 134-106 Monday night for their 10th win in 11 games. Lasar Thompson added 17 points and was 7 for 7 from the field, while Jaren Duren was also perfect for 5 for 5 to 16 points and 12 rebounds. It's the first time Detroit has won 10 games since 2007, 2008. 10 games in a row, that is. Meanwhile, Utah is 3-7 in their last 10. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. In your weather for today, weak surface troughing near the central Bahamas, aided by marginal support, will continue to spark shower activity over much of the country through today. Meanwhile, an expansive surface high centered just east of the Carolinas will keep the country under a tight pressure gradient, and that's going to contribute to the windy conditions that we're seeing right now. And that means rough seas through Thursday. A near gale warning is in effect for all areas. By late Wednesday and early Thursday, another cold front's going to move into the area. That's going to bring some shower activity to the northern Bahamas and slide southeastwards through the islands before stalling over the southeast Bahamas by Friday. It's going to dissipate by late that evening. A brief dip in temperatures will be accompanying that front from late Thursday through Friday before temperatures rise again and above what's normal for this time of the year into the weekend. So that means hot. Additionally, a deep ridging pattern along with a dry air mass will take shape behind that front, and that's going to support mostly dry and sunny conditions for the weekend. Another frontal boundary expected to enter the Bahamas by the start of next week. For today, though, for the northern and northwest Bahamas, and actually most of the country, all of the country today, central and southeast Bahamas as well, small craft operators need to remain in port. Near gale warning in effect. You can see it out there. It's rough. It's windy. We're looking at winds east to southeast at 20 to 25 knots, gusting to near gale force for the northern Bahamas, east to southeast at 15 to 25, with gusts to near gale force for the rest of the northwest Bahamas, easterly at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts for the central islands, and northeast to east at 15 to 20 knots for the southeastern islands. Got a light to moderate southeasterly swell in the Atlantic waters for most areas, and a 30 to 40% chance of isolated showers for the northern and central Bahamas, 40 to 60% chance of isolated to widely scattered showers, and a 10 to 20% chance of isolated thunderstorms for the southeast Bahamas. Temperature-wise today, we are looking at highs around 82 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 68 Fahrenheit, about 20 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up in just a bit.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what you're banking, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Dominica Republic, destination for the team. When an all-expense paid trip for 2 by signing 3. Or more money transfers to enter, what a deal. With Western Union, you get to see just how it feels. Yeah, esto está caliente. De baridas, really hard to tell. Hola, hola from the DR. Taking pictures for the gram just to show you we are. GK Money be the motion, papi, mamacita. Go to Grace Kennedy, the team is ready to start because Dominica Republic, destination for the team. With an all-expense paid trip for 2 by signing 3. Or more money transfers to enter, what a deal. With Western Union, you get to see just how it feels, yeah. To see just how it feels, yeah. With Western Union.
Spain sounds like this. But with a little Caribbean, it can sound like this. The world needs more Caribbean. And with FedEx, you can ship your products to every corner. With increased cargo capabilities, 24/7 shipment tracking, and shipping tools, take your business worldwide and enjoy life a bit more like us.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Float Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Duquessadine is off with us today. She'll join us later in the week. Coming up this morning, countdown is on. It's coming up quick. The 2025 CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championships going to be right here in Nassau at Malcolm Park Beach Soccer Stadium on right by the foot of the bridge. And we've got some of the team members coming in this morning. We're going to talk with them and give you all the details about this event that you don't want to miss. Plus, it's free. I mean, I don't think we need to say much more than that, right? We've got to be there to show support to the Junkanoo boys. And we're going to tell you how you can do that this morning. Later in business, it's our monthly series with Maison Bahamas, our real estate series. We're looking at the commercial and real estate residential property of the month and some helpful tips as well. Always a great time with them this morning. That's all ahead, but let's get into what else is in the news. And in the news, these are approaching the end times when the big story of the day is eggs. Everybody's very excited about a recent development with eggs, and that was all that everybody seemed to be talking about yesterday. Really, really, really wild. But relief is coming, it seems, on prices that were in the double digits, according to lots of people, even high double digits in some places, if you want organic eggs. But things could be changing. Take a listen to this report from our Vonnie Katut.
Amid growing concerns over the high cost of eggs, this pastry chef clutched 4 cartons of eggs from Super Value Golden Gates, which has reduced the price to $3.79. She told us she intends to return for more.
This right now is just my house. So this isn't even, I'm hoping to come back and actually get a case. I don't know if they have a limit on what you can get here now, but But yeah, no, this is a long time coming. You see the crowd over there, people looking for eggs to come down. This is $12 for one carton of egg was ridiculous, man. So yeah, this is good.
Jonathan Williams also lamented the high cost of eggs. After learning of the price reduction, he rushed to Super Value to surprise his wife with 4 dozen.
Eggs are becoming so expensive. And right now, my wife and I just walked into the food store. So I know she's a person who loves eggs. So I said, well, you know what? Let me get 4 of these to surprise her. Okay, because I think the price is good. $3.79? First time I've seen in my life. When eggs goes up to $20, $24. Right now, I think this is a good thing. Okay? And my thing is, I believe that the government probably have some hand involved with it.
President and CEO of Super Value, Deborah Simonet, says the grocery store chain was happy to pass on the significant savings to its customers.
The price of eggs has been soaring for months now, and we've been making every effort that we can to bring these prices down. And, the bird flu is what has caused all this. It's been soaring across the U.S., and as a result, they've had to kill millions of chickens, and as a result of the deaths of all these birds, less eggs are being laid, and with the supply going down so significantly, the prices have continued to soar.
She added it is a result of a partnership with the government.
We have managed to collaborate with the government of the Bahamas, in particular the Ministry of Agriculture, and the Minister, Mr. Jomo Campbell, and we have sourced eggs outside of the U.S. And as a result of this, we're going to be able to offer the public a significant reduction in the price of eggs. And when I say significant, it's going to be less than half of the price that we're offering now. So the price recently was $9.99 or so. Yeah. So, it's going to be $3.79 now. So it's great news.
Officials from the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources say they were happy to work with Super Value to alleviate the burden placed on consumers.
We would have heard the cries of the public, the nation, and receive directives. And then we here today just to say that this is just one part of the overall success of the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Vonnie Toot.
Okay. All right. So, yes, the government did have a hand in it. There's more on that in today's Guardian business section. So, we've talked about it on the show before. The government has been trying to get retailers to go outside the U.S. for products. And so, Archester Robards writing about it today. Super Value's move to source eggs from producers outside of the U.S. was in response to the government's call on the business sector to begin sourcing products outside their regular supply chains. This was done in order to get better prices for Bahamians. Chairman of the Bahamas Trade Commission, Senator Barry Griffin, saying, quote, the Bahamas Trade Commission launched the National Trade Diversification Program, a nationwide initiative to encourage retailers, wholesalers, and importers to expand their sourcing beyond traditional markets by diversifying supply chains. Businesses can access more competitive pricing, ensuring cost savings that benefit Bahamian consumers. Griffin said the commission has been working closely with small and medium-sized businesses to explore bulk purchasing from jurisdictions that might offer better prices than current suppliers. Griffin said the soaring cost of eggs over the past year was a good example of why the Bahamas needs alternative markets to trade with. As you heard in that report just now, bird flu in the U.S. led to the culling of millions of layer eggs, leading to a shortage in the egg supply and a spike in the cost. Egg prices went from almost $3 per dozen to around $10 per dozen for most affordable brands, and way up, much higher for organic stuff, as we said earlier. Super Value's new supplier has brought the cost of eggs back down to less than $4, as you heard in that report. All right, so getting a few text messages about it. Again, a frenzy yesterday, people buying and spreading the word that eggs were back to affordable prices. But it appears that, and rightly so, if this is accurate, that there are limits per customer because some of you would try to hoard the eggs, I guess, even though there are expiration dates on these things. All right, so I think it's 5 cartons, 5 dozen per customer from a sign that I saw. So let's get your reaction to it, folks. 323-6232. You about to... Yeah? 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. This person says here, why don't they just say that they got the eggs from Mexico for $1.69 a dozen? That's what it's going for in Mexico, unless the government wants to take credit for the low price. Well, is it Mexico? I'm not sure if it is, but hey, okay. They did encourage it. I don't know if they're taking full credit, but they are encouraging it. So this person says here, you all are really running out with this egg story, okay? So fine, you don't want to talk about eggs? No problem. But anyway, you've got your eggs now. Hopefully everybody's happy about that. All right, so we didn't get time to talk about this too much yesterday. You can continue to call in or text if you do want to talk about that. But this story yesterday, we mentioned it at the end of the show, but I wanted to get into it today. Government's bid to drop birth month auto coverage mandate. And this is something we were complaining about for a number of weeks, and it just didn't make any sense, but it appears that someone was listening. So this is in the Tribune from yesterday. Insurers have hailed the government's move to abandon the counterproductive stipulation that all Bahamian and resident drivers must annually renew auto insurance coverage in their birth month. The Davis administration and legislation tabled in Parliament alongside the mid-year budget last week unveiled an amendment to the Road Traffic Act that eliminates the birth month requirement and instead replaces it with language mandating that companies merely renew their auto insurance on an annual basis. The bill, introduced last week, now reads, quote, a policy of insurance shall be renewed annually by an insured person. This compares to the Clause 6, Section 10 that was passed into law by Parliament less than a year ago, which currently states, quote, a policy of insurance shall be renewable annually within the birth month of the insured person. So the Road Traffic Amendment Bill 2025, the latest part of the government's legislative push to crack down on the numerous uninsured drivers wreaking havoc on the Bahamian roads, effectively represents a government U-turn that has occurred in less than 12 months on the birth month requirement. So the Road Traffic Bill 2025 seeks to make provision for the deletion of the requirement in subsection 6 of Section 10 of the Road Traffic Act that a policy of insurance shall be renewable annually within the birth month of the insured person, and to substitute that person and to substitute an alternative new requirement that provides that a policy of insurance shall be renewed annually by an insured person. The change comes as Tribune Business reported that at least one Bahamian insurance underwriter has increased its minimum annual third-party auto premium to align it better with the high risks associated with driving on the streets of Nassau and New Providence. But the president of the Professional Insurance Consultants Association, Bruce Ferguson, hailed the change contained in the Road Traffic Amendment Act as quote, wonderful news and in line with what the Bahamian insurance industry has recommended to the government. He said that several clients have already been contacting and visiting brokers and agents to adjust their renewals to their birth month. But reiterating that the birth month mandate would have created an administrative nightmare for insurers, given the volume of clients who would have been forced to switch the timing of annual auto coverage renewals. Ferguson said that this was essentially counterproductive, what the government had been intending to do. All right, so let's get your reaction to it, though. There's so many reasons why this would have been a terrible, terrible thing, just costly for people struggling with the high cost of living already. I mean, up until yesterday, $10 for a dozen eggs. So can you imagine having to do all of these things in your birth month? It seemed like no one was listening, but thank God somebody came to their senses. My God. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Getting a lot of text messages. This person says, your man cannot live on eggs alone. Eggs are not healthy. Well, I hope you do it in moderation, right? That you wouldn't just be cooking a dozen of them at one time and consuming them. This person said, I already had to pay my insurance in my birth month. It cost me an arm and a leg. I heard these eggs. Oh boy, no, they went something else. Okay, that's not cool. I'm not going to read that part. But they said last year when we were making noise about it that it didn't come into effect immediately. That you had 6 months. You didn't have to do it immediately. It was going to be a break-in period, a transition period. So that was either on you or your insurance company. But I'm sorry to hear that. Will they give you some money back? Have you asked them yet? Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's good that somebody was listening to the cries of the Bayment people when it relates to that nonsense with the car license and insurance that I got, right? That's good. But you see, what I just get from things like this, right? This administration, they appear to be a good cop, bad cop type of governance, right? Where they come with these off-the-wall ideas to put on the Bayment people, and then months later, they try to move them after the pressure from the Bayment people. Then they want us to praise them for doing something what they shouldn't have done in the first go. It's craziness, man. So if they still listening out there, right? Tell them, please address our immigration problem and stop giving out work permits the way they are doing and citizenship in this country the way they are doing. The people who can't even pronounce the word Blue Hill Road or tell you where it is. But they're walking around with documents and they don't know nothing but this country.
Why? How do they say it?
I can't. I don't have that dialect. I wish I could have. But Dwight, this is real, man. But we have to get these people have to do better, man. Have a nice day, Dwight. Continue the good work you're doing.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Right. Well, I mean, that one's going to be a little more complicated to address, I'm sure. But yeah, I mean, I wish I could understand this because from what we know, the insurance industry certainly made their objections very clear to the government, and it just didn't seem listening. I don't know what happened, but thank God they've come to their senses. This texter says here, I'll wait till the hoarders pass around the human flu to each other, then go to the store when the store is empty. Oh, boy. Okay. Was that insurance change another policy update from the financial secretary? I've never seen an administration introduce so many poor and disruptive Elon Musk ADD-like dumb policies. Wow. Many swipes at many different people there. Okay. This person says here, I'm extremely happy about the drop in the price of eggs. It was ridiculous. When prices are high on groceries, we blame the government. So now it's low. We should give them credit. I hear you. That's. Anybody tasted the eggs yet? How are they? No, that part. This one says here, one thing the government does right, just one thing. They did one thing. Well, I'm sure it's at least two. Come on. Why do we complain so much? We complain about the price of eggs. Now they're complaining about where the eggs come from. You can't live on eggs alone. Come on, man. Let's be grateful. Continue to call in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. I'm a first-time caller to your show.
Welcome.
But I wanted to address the road traffic matter.
Yes.
Having worked in the industry for many, many decades, I've looked at the policies that the government has put in place, the changes that they continue to make. In some instances, I don't think it was well thought out, or they actually didn't speak with anyone or took them seriously when they made objections. But as it relates to uninsured drivers, the government issues us a decal every year with a barcode on it, and they have yet to put a program in place where those can be scanned, because they scan our certificates to a file electronically, but they're not making any use of it.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the purpose of going digital when you're not fully digital? You have the police on the road wasting lots of effort when they can just have a gun on them, scan, confirm that you are insured or not, and make the best decision in that moment.
Absolutely. Yep. Many have said this before. We are wondering what the issue is. So you say you worked in the industry. Any explanation at all has ever been given?
I just think that our current government, they make decisions based on, and this is my personal opinion, they make decisions based on the moment. But at the end of the day, we have to understand that governing people, you still have to operate as a business. And when you make decisions that affect the economy and the economics of personal households, especially in an economy that is weak as it is now, in particular to the family islands, you have to be smart. You have to think about it. You have to consult. And I think they need to do more public consultation before they make any decision that affects the economics of each person's individual household.
Totally agree. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your call. Please call again. Thank you. All right. Yeah, but also listen, I mean, folks, we're telling them. People were telling them this is going to be a nightmare on, not just on in terms of financing, just people being able to afford to do this, but apparently the insurance industry is saying it's going to be very hard for us to keep up with that. But I don't know. It just seemed like everyone was being very stubborn. But again, be grateful, right, that it is no more. Now, let's tackle the problem, the big problem, in a meaningful way. Tackle what to do about all the people driving without insurance. This was not going to fix that. We don't even know where that came from, this birth month thing. But we have a big problem with people canceling their insurance early. Will this change anything? Will anything be changed about that? So we continue with your text messages. You can continue to call in. This person says here, we Bahamians are so desperate. They are wooing us with eggs now. And why everyone... What? Okay, I'm not sure what's happening with the rest of the text. It's something about COI. I think. Pirate parties. Okay, not sure what's going on, but the rest of it, maybe send that back. This person says here, keep taking this passport issue lately. I think they might mean lightly, until the United States border closes for Bahamians. Okay. Dwight, the eggs are a bit chalky. Oh boy. I bought 4 cases, but 4 cases, you mean cartons, right? That's what you mean? But for the price, they are okay. Where are these eggs from? Boy, people sound so ignorant talking about don't worry about where things come from. That's why some products in the United States say export only. That's not why. And the Caribbean is considered a dumping ground for inferior products. I don't think that's right. Cheap isn't always good. They needed money. This is back to insurance. Imagine if every month every licensed driver paid insurance. It would be a quick injection of cash. That's what they were after. Well, I mean... it doesn't matter, right? So if you license your car 4 months after your birthday, they're still getting the money. I mean, what are you saying? You think everybody's buying their cars in August? Everybody? And for the rest of the year, no one's doing anything? I don't think that's how it works. But you're saying it would be more evenly spread out, perhaps. Perhaps? Okay. They go on to say, like Musk, they don't know the meaning of economy. In short, every action has an opposite exponential reaction, sometimes a disastrous reaction, like Musk. Okay. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, some great news. Mr. Strachan, I know you're well read and up to speed, right? Not speed, sped. But, firstly, I'd like to congratulate Hannah Martin, police, etc., and those who are responsible, because there was a PT meeting at a primary school, and I see where they have put a policeman, everybody knows his name, and he's sitting on the pedestrian at the school on Blue Road to make sure that the imbeciles don't make 40 and 50 miles and 30 miles in the 15-mile-per-hour zone, right? So I thought that was great, you know what I mean, Mr. Strachan? Because people are really mindless and oblivious to this, and I see females that are the bearer of children are the greatest culprits. You know, they have their phones in their hands and they're speeding past the school, and nothing happens until something happens. You see what I'm saying? I mean, they don't do nothing until something happens. But I wanted to comment on the eggs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some of the pathetic text. I like the text who said that, you know, what is wrong with questioning where it comes from? What is wrong with questioning the ingredients? What is wrong with asking if they have tested any of the eggs to see if they put mRNA in them or whatever? Because, you know, arsenic was used in chickens decades ago, and they are used as a growth hormone factor in order to suppress a hunger so that the farmer can make more money. And so the chickens that you call layers, they were actually engineered to just lay the eggs without fertilization. You know that, right, Dwight? Hence, the eggs are haploids. So the term organic, it's fleeting. So what I'm saying is I still buy the brown eggs. My brother, we was ever paying like $10, $11, $9, and so I didn't cuss until I see it reach 14, right? But I prefer to do that because I don't know how to eat them. And so to the text who talk about eggs are not healthy, you know, a lot of us really, I mean, eggs are healthy, but the fact is what they're putting in them and where they're coming from. So eggs is basically one of the few foods that actually contains vitamin D naturally. And so that would be in the yolk. But, you know, just eating it in moderation if you consume cholesterol and many other ways. But I like for everybody to just grab their cell phones and Google what are the functions of cholesterol in the human body, because we are being duped out of our minds until we don't even know the truth anymore. So the problem is, it's not the eggs, it's what they're doing with them. And then the question is, who should I be thankful for? You know, we have to practice a bit of stoicism here. I hate people who saying, be thankful to who? To God or to man? This is why, this is where the deification comes in. You create the problem, and then you have the solution. But most people need to just delve into the chicken industry and see that it's only common sense. They have thousands of chickens living together, defecating on one another, and that's a way for disease, right? It's no different. In the chicken industry, there's supposed to be a mandate of the amount of chicken that you can house in a certain square footage, right? It's simple. I can't educate people. There's every information out there. Stop looking at your cell phones. Educate yourself and stop spreading propaganda. But the eggs are haploids. I eat them, right, Dwight? But I eat them in moderation. Like I said, they're healthy. They don't do you anything. Now, if you sit down every day and you eat 5 eggs or whatever, but, you know, I like you said, I don't know what's the reason for buying all the eggs. I'm not really a fan of eggs, but I eat them now and then. Bless up, yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Hope our listeners enjoying your omelets this morning. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Yes, I just a comment about the eggs. I think we should be grateful to Super Value and the government for what they've accomplished with these eggs. Because, I mean, I bought a dozen. I live close Golden Gates, and I bought a dozen. I had 2 for breakfast this morning, and they are perfect. And, you know, to be honest with you, these suppliers should have been accessing these eggs in other places other than the United States. And I can tell you, they are almost like organic eggs. The yolk is very yellow, and I know where they come from, but I don't want to say. And it's a Caribbean country, and, you know, what the eggs in the Caribbean are much better than the eggs in the United States. They're more, you know, organically grown and so on. You can tell from it by, you know, the color of the yolk and the texture of the shell. The shell is much harder, and you can see all size shapes inside there, meaning they don't have this all automated system where the eggs come out in one shape. And the thing is, we should be grateful to, and I know with the government, it's Godfrey Enyas that was talking about this for years and years, that we should be accessing agriculture produce from the parts of the Caribbean. And with this trade war that's going on right now, we need to just aggressively start looking for alternative supplies, preferably in the Caribbean, and trading among ourselves. You know, we talked about this, and when Cuba was doing okay, we could have gotten stuff from there. When Haiti was doing okay, we could have gotten a lot of product from there, but we were so stuck on the United States, getting products from the United States, and look what has happened now, a whole disaster. And finally, yet, we talk about trading with China. If you can remember that a lot of the gadgets and the things that were almost inaccessible to us are now, they're dirt cheap. I'm talking about cosmetics, toys, and so on, because of the Chinese are producing them. So we need to look outside of the United States for trade if we want to flourish for the next 4 years. You see what has happened to Canada, see what has happened to Mexico, and Trump trade policies. Things could really change. And also, we need to look into seriously manufacturing some things for ourselves. That's the only way we're going to get through this for the next 4 years. Other than that, and all kinds of things just keep going up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that, and I'm glad to hear you enjoyed your breakfast there. Wow. It's the most I've ever talked about eggs in my life. It's crazy. Wow. One more call on this, and then we got a few messages before we go to the break. Good morning, caller on the air.
Good morning. How you guys doing this morning?
Doing well. Good morning.
Yeah, I think the last caller is on point, and as it relates to the diversification and trade.
You're a little low. We can barely hear you.
Oh, yeah, I'm just talking with the last caller. He was on point. We need to be more diversification and trade. I know the United States is our very close partner. I think we are kind of stuck in relation. I think the last administration under Hubert Minnis tried to do a lot of stuff in Haiti. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah. I think these eggs is being sourced probably down south in Dominican Republic on that particular type area, because Dominican Republic just boosts their egg production to 350 million a month. And that's based on, because they've been consistent with their prices throughout this whole thing. And even with making sure that people are concerned, where the eggs coming from, if diseases, even with the vaccination issues with the birds, they have a strict implementation on that. So they're doing a lot of exporting outside of Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
And if we could utilize places like that, I think that's what CARICOM, just the Caribbean, man, we should be able to use the Bahamas. Where we got Freeport, we got, where we could, Nassau, where we could ship stuff to the Caribbean. And this is how, if we can grow it here, we could be able to keep prices down throughout the Caribbean and be able to make them our trading partners. I think we caught up in putting over $2 billion annually into Florida, and prices, the payments are being, don't have relief in terms of buying food, and we can get good quality food right into the Southern Caribbean.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. All right, so we'll see. Hopefully with this and the Golden Yoke program, there was an update about it last week. Soon this shouldn't be a problem going forward. We are hopeful. All right, a whole lot of your text messages. We're going to do this after the break. How about that? Let's go to let's do some of these right now. Why do we complain so much? We complain about the price of eggs. Now they complain about where the eggs come from. Next we will blame the Bahamas government for the bird flu. Do they know that the United States of America buys products cheap from other countries and sells them back to us? Okay. This is back to road traffic and the insurance issue. Yes, same money, but sooner. The timing affects cash flow. Okay. All right. Why is road traffic cashless? Is cash no longer legal tender? I think it's certain. Well, all of it cashless everywhere? No, I don't think everywhere. There's some are still accepting cash. That one's cashless. Yeah. Right, that one's cashless. Out here, Western Esplanade, Carmichael is both a. Yeah. But there's a reason. You want me to... they're trying to... I mean, you don't want a bunch of cash on hand, but also I think to eliminate some tricky stuff. Let's put it like that. But hey, this person says the Bahamians are so health conscious about food imports with the biggest. Oh no. Okay, no. What? You almost caused me to read that on the air, which is going to be very offensive. Ah, boy. Wow. Why are people questioning where these eggs are coming from? Have they ever questioned where the previous eggs were coming from and their ingredients? Why don't they question where every product you buy in the store comes from? Mm-hmm. Eggs come from the United States. No one questions them. So why worry about eggs from other countries? You just can't please Bahamians. I don't want to know how that caller who ate eggs this morning is doing right now. Let him give us an update in 2 weeks. Okay, we're going to take a break. When we come back, more of your text messages and more of what's making news on this Tuesday morning. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We lost Angie Stone and one of her big songs here. Take a listen to that as we go. This is Guardian Radio 96.9.
Seems a little bit out of hold on. Inside, it gets a little better. My sunshine has come. No more rain. My sunshine, and I'm all right. And there's no more rain. There's no more rain. No. My sunshine has come. And I'm all right.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
RBC. Life is full of twists, turns, and defining moments that create your own unique story. However your story unfolds, we're here to help guide you through it. From every big decision to every new adventure, RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
It is time for your morning traffic report brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. In your real-time traffic this morning, a few hot spots to tell you about. We've got Prince Charles Drive into Robinson Road, seeing some heavy traffic at the major intersections near Beatrice Avenue, but especially as you get closer to Soldier Road, heading into Robinson. If you're heading westbound, you're going to be seeing that slow-moving traffic up to Old Trail and even on to East-West Highway Marathon. And we're seeing some slow-moving traffic on Soldier Road, north of that intersection with Prince Charles, up to Bernard Village and Wolf Road. Eastern Road also, very heavy traffic for you this morning from about San Souci. And just east and west of Fox Hill, you're not moving much at all if you're heading westbound. Fox Hill Road, northbound, also backed up near St. Anne's in that area. Then we've got Blue Hill Road, heavy traffic from Carmichael straight up to Independence Drive. Independence Drive slow moving both directions, east and westbound this morning. And of course, Milo Butler Highway, heavy traffic, well south of the Fire Trail roundabout, all the way up to Tawny Williams Darling Highway if you're heading northbound. Your alternate route, Gladstone Road, looking like a better alternate for you this morning, but still some slow-moving traffic once you are north of Fire Trail heading northbound. Easing up a bit as you get closer to Munnings Road right now. Slow-moving traffic on Carmichael westbound to Coral Harbor Road as well, and we're seeing building traffic on West Bay Street near Saunders Beach and the roundabout with New Providence Highway, mainly for eastbound travelers. As we're seeing right now, that's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you. And it's time for another check of your weather brought to you by the CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championships. We've got weak surface troughing near the Central Bahamas, aided by trough that's going to spark some shower activity over much of the country through to the end of the day today. Meanwhile, an expansive high-pressure system just east of the Carolinas will keep the country under a tight pressure gradient, and that's going to bring and continue to bring the windy conditions and rough seas that we're seeing today through to Thursday. So we do have a near gale warning in effect for all areas. By late Wednesday and early Thursday, another cold front is going to move into the area. That's going to bring shower activity to the northern Bahamas as it slides southeastwards through the islands before stalling over the southeast Bahamas by Friday and dissipating by Friday evening. A brief dip in the temperatures behind that front through Friday before temperatures rise above seasonal norms later into the weekend. So a warm weekend ahead. And a deep ridging pattern with a dry air mass will keep the front mostly dry and sunny once that front passes into the weekend. So a bit of rain before we get to that dry, warm weekend. So beachgoers should avoid entering the northern and Atlantic waters due to the high risk of rip currents, rough surf, overtopping waves, and possible flooding along coastal roads, especially the Glass Window Bridge in Eleuthera. It is very, very rough out there, folks. So for today, mostly cloudy and very windy through tonight for the northern and northwest Bahamas. Partly cloudy to cloudy and windy through tonight for the central and southeast Bahamas. We're looking at high temperatures around 83 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 67 Fahrenheit, 19 Celsius. A bit cooler for the northern islands tonight. In your extended outlook for Wednesday, partly cloudy to cloudy and breezy during the day, becoming mostly fair at night. Pretty much the same for Thursday, with a few cloudy intervals and as a front begins to make its way to the country. And Friday, with that front moving through, expect a mix of sun and clouds during the day, becoming mostly fair at night. That's your Morning Blend weather check, brought to you by the CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championships. Don't miss them at Malcolm Park Beach Soccer Stadium, March 11th through 16th. Watch the Junkanoo boys take on top teams like Panama and the United States. It's free to attend. Come out and support your team.
Reliable and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Pinder is carrying a new line of tile, the Sky series of porcelain. Comes in 4 colors, Sky Noir, Sky Azure, Sky Gris, and this one, Sky Glance. In this particular tile, I think you'll find coin gray, silver gray, cloud gray, and gray. All of these are seamlessly blended to make the Sky Glance one beautiful tile. The Sky series of porcelain comes in 2 formats, 24 by 24 at $5.30 a square foot and 12 by 24 at $5.25 a square foot.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
What if I told you Wendy's has a new burger? With a flavor so secret, it's almost too delicious to handle. Well, now it's time to unlock that flavor. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue cheeseburger. We can't tell you everything, but we can tell you that it's packed with flavor, including our secret barbecue sauce. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue, available for a limited time.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
RBC. Life is full of twists, turns, and defining moments that create your own unique story. However your story unfolds, we're here to help guide you through it. From every big decision to every new adventure, RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Broken spirit, lost and confused, empty, scared, used and abused, a fool. Oh, ain't it funny that the way you feel shows on your face, all over your face, and the smile you used to wear seems a little bit out of place. Hold on, in time it gets a little better. My sunshine has come, no more rain. My sunshine, and I'm all right. And there's no more rain. There's no more rain. My sunshine has come. And I'm all right. And there's no more rain in this time.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
I've been a Roman Romeo, my Juliets have been many, but now my Roman days have gone. Too many irons in the fire is worse than not having any. I've had my share, and from now on, I'm putting all my eggs in one basket. I'm betting everything I got on you. Mama, I'm giving all my love to one baby. Lord help me if my baby don't come through. I've got a great big amount saved up in my love account. Honey, and I've decided love divided in two won't do. So I'm putting all my eggs in one basket. I'm betting everything I got on you.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong with you on this Tuesday morning. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to be talking about the CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championships getting underway next week right here in Nassau. And later in business, it's our monthly series with Maison Bahamas. Talking about commercial real estate properties you need to be keeping an eye on. And a whole lot more with them. That's all ahead. But we continue talking about what's in the news. And we've been talking about eggs, the price of eggs, your reaction to the price drop. Somebody's asking, is it only going to be at one retailer, or is it going to be across the board? And that's a good question. I've not heard much beyond Super Value at the moment. We're talking about that. We're also getting a reaction to the government dropping this birth month mandate for auto insurance, which is Great news there. So we have a lot of your text messages to get to. You can get your calls in as well. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. All right, so this person, I don't know if they've been following this properly, this text. Dwight, I'm of the view that the birthday idea was a relatively practical idea. At the risk of oversimplifying common sense, the shortfall was that we did not utilize the technological opportunity that presented itself when they digitized the system in road traffic. If the road traffic department generated a report for vehicles registered for licensing for March, set appointments, mobilized employees at a designated site to inspect and process card payments, the process could easily take 10 minutes. Texter, I don't think you've been paying attention to this at all. This was not about that in any shape or form. And whether I choose to buy my car in August and get the insurance from then does not negate what you're talking about. Why are you forcing me to get insurance in my birth month? I have many other things to do, including licensing the vehicle and registering the vehicle and getting a driver's license. I don't need that burden. If I choose to separate it, that's up to me. I should have the freedom. If you want to do it in your birth month, that's your business. If you don't, you shouldn't be forced to. That was the issue, not what you're talking about at all. Nothing to do with that at all. And they can do that no matter when. This isn't about licensing the vehicle. This was about when I need to get the insurance for the vehicle. You should get insurance, but you shouldn't make me do that in my birth month. That's all. If I want to do it, that's up to me. Not up to you. That's all. I think you totally have not been following the story, but I appreciate your text. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, cousin Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
Yeah, take your pressure plus like me. I just take mine.
Oh, I'm very calm.
Okay.
Today.
You know, but Dwight, you know, the minister is kind of a good thing what he did to help to get the fighting. That's the way it should be done, Dwight. I think what the minister should have done was open it up, and market forces usually drives prices down. See, when you can say we source this from somewhere and we only give it to one vendor.
So I don't know if that's how it went. I think they might have assisted. So I'm getting a message now that Super Value did this on their own with the assistance, right, to help them to find. But it isn't that they did it for them. It's not the government did it for them.
Yeah, because there are people even say, man, we can't tell you all where we get it from. I kind of, but market forces does that. Market forces. You understand? You let them loose and let them do what they have to do. But right, what we really need to do, the minister needs to focus on, is high time. We go back to Marigold Farms. We go back to Hatchet Bay. We go back to Farm Fresh. We go back to Golden, and we go back to Abaco Baked Birds. We go back to Long Island Mutton. We can become the smallest organic, rich capital of the world, right? Because there's only a handful of us to feed. So 10 chickens can take care of us, and the other 100 can take care of the big hotels in the world, the rest of the world who won't buy from us, right? We need to stop thinking too bougie that we got to bring everything from across that bar, because we really don't know what's coming across that bar, and we need to go back to what we used to be, right? Thanks for taking
I mean, you could do it. You want to do it? I mean, I don't know.
I am trying. I'm trying. David's supposed to come. Aaron Green's supposed to come. They're supposed to come my backyard and clean about 200 times because I little handicap in order to start my own little farming in here. There ain't nobody showing up, but that is what we need to go back to, Dwight.
Okay, all right. I hear
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. All right. This texture says here, the whatever happened to the funds invested in the Golden Yoke program. So there was an update on this last week that was discussed. There you can find the articles in the Nassau Guardian, but they're getting it together. They're getting it together. When we will see the results, I'm not too sure, but there was a setback, and that was publicized, but they're getting it together last week. Just discussed last week what's happening with that. This person says here, if they have confidence in the safety of the eggs, what's the big deal of saying where they're sourced from? It's always this type of approach that fosters suspicion amongst folks. I don't know if it's a secret. Is it a secret? I mean, maybe if the container might tell you where it is. Is it? Okay. Oh, boy. Man. Okay. Are you sure they are? Oh, dear Lord. Should we just move on? Do we want to not talk about eggs anymore? Because this is getting crazy. This text, are you sure they are not lizard or crocodile eggs or some other animals? Are you serious, texter? Yeah? Okay. Dwight, your callers are so right about trading with the Caribbean, but our food suppliers are so stuck on cheaper garbage that makes them money. They don't want to spend a little bit more in the Caribbean. Okay, now the text line is getting weirder. Just a lot of people putting out stuff, so this is disturbing. So basically, why don't you just drink water only? How about that? They're very concerned about everything. They're highlighting the ingredients that are in all manner of things and why we shouldn't consume it. So you let me know how the water diet goes for you. Hopefully the water is okay. But that's what you are suggesting here. So good. I'm more concerned about the cotton candy flavored grapes. Okay, the Bahamas has much resources. We shouldn't be buying eggs. Eggs for votes, really? But not fire trucks. Okay, let's just stop it right now. We got to go to a break. Everybody's losing their minds. You don't have to buy the eggs if you don't want them. If you're very concerned, don't get expensive ones. Go and get those if that makes you feel better. Or don't eat eggs at all. It doesn't matter. You don't have to share your craze with everybody. But let them do what they want to do. Everybody, that's the good thing about where we are, right? You have a lot of choices, and I can choose to get insurance when I want to get it, and you can choose to buy the eggs or not to buy the eggs. For those who want the eggs, the prices are low now, and that's great for them. If you want something else, you can do that too. Right? Great. We'll be back. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
My eggs in one basket. I'm betting everything I've got on you. I'm giving all my love to one baby. Lord help me if my baby don't come through.
Don't shop at Sherwin-Williams then. Don't get the best service in the Bahamas then.
The love is really, really strong in Sherwin-Williams. We don't just sell paint. We service you with a smile, good hearts, mind, soul, and body. And we love our customers as much as we love ourselves.
Yes, real talk.
I'm not just saying this
Real talk.
to impress myself.
We love to go beyond with customer service. So they feel delighted to come in Sherwin-Williams because they know I can either see Dee Dee, or I can see Shelly, or one of our other wonderful staff members. We treat our customers with the respect of our boss because there are many paint companies they can choose to go to. No, baby. If they go to some other paint companies, so I gonna get this little thing at the end of the week.
We want to make sure you get that little ting, Shelley. Come visit Shelley and Dee Dee at Sherwin-Williams Bahamas, and you'll surely find color in every day.
Bahamas, are you ready? The world is coming to Wasan for the 2025 CONCACAF Beach Soccer World Cup qualifiers. March 11 through 16 at the Beach Soccer Stadium next to the Sydney Poitier Bridge. The Jungle Beach Boys, top 5 in CONCACAF, taking on Mexico, USA, and El Salvador. Beach party meets world-class soccer, non-stop action, jungle rhythms, great food, and pure vibes. And it's free. Bring your crew, ring your cowbells, beat your drums, no whistles. March 11th through 16th at the Beach Soccer Stadium. Visit BahamasFA.net for details. Bahamas Beach Soccer, pure vibes.
With escalating global conflicts, are you ready for what's next? Join us at RF Bahamas Economic Outlook on March 12th at Bahamar, where top global and local experts will break down the key economic, political, and social trends shaping our future. Hear from Admiral Mike Rogers, former head of U.S. Cyber Command, and more. Plus, gain CPD credits, powerful insights, and high-impact networking all in one day. Don't miss out. Secure your spot now at rfbeo.com. That's rfbeo.com. RF Bahamas Economic Outlook. See you there.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
Are you ready to elevate your day with a burst of flavor? Look no further than Dunkin'.
your ultimate destination for everything delicious. From our freshly brewed coffee that is sure to pick you up to our signature frozen beverages that will cool you down. And don't forget our mouth-watering sandwiches made to order all day. Dunkin' has it all. And of course, our lineup of fresh donuts, muffins, and more. Dive into a world of yummy flavors at Dunkin' and bring joy to your day. The Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
It is time for your final look at weather for the morning, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. We've got weak troughing near the central Bahamas. That's aided by a system that's going to spark some shower activity across much of the country today. Meanwhile, an expansive high-pressure system just east of the Carolinas is going to keep the country under a tight pressure gradient, and that's going to contribute to the windy conditions and rough seas that we've been seeing so far today. And that's going to continue until at least Thursday. So as a result, we've got a near gale warning in effect for all areas. But by late Wednesday into early Thursday, another cold front's going to move in, and that's going to bring some shower activities. And that's going to bring that to the northern Bahamas as it moves its way into the southeast Bahamas by Friday. Expect a brief dip in temperatures with that front through Friday until temperatures warm up quite a bit for the weekend. And we see a mostly dry and sunny weather pattern for the weekend. Before that, though, beachgoers should avoid the northern shorelines of the islands and eastern, Atlantic exposures, at least due to the high risk of rip currents, rough surf, overtopping waves, and possible flooding along coastal roads like the Glass Window Bridge in Eleuthera. Again, a near gale warning in effect for all areas. For the northern and northwest Bahamas, mostly cloudy and very windy conditions today through tonight. Partly cloudy to cloudy at times and windy for the southeast Bahamas and central islands. Look for high temperatures around 83 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 65 Fahrenheit, 19 Celsius. In your extended outlook for Wednesday, partly cloudy to cloudy and breezy during the day, becoming mostly fair at night. Got about a 30% chance of isolated showers for the southeast Bahamas. About a 10 to 20% chance of showers elsewhere. By Thursday, partly sunny with a few cloudy periods. As that front moves through, a 30 to 40% chance of showers. And by Friday, expect a mix of sun and clouds during the day, becoming mostly fair at night. Partly sunny and warm by Saturday. That's your Morning Blend Weather Check, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams, all your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints online or in-store today. Your final look at traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution at RBC. All right, we've got a number of hot spots. We've got still Saunders Beach, slow-moving traffic on West Bay Street eastbound towards the roundabout with New Providence Highway. And as you exit that roundabout, heading towards Arawak Key, you'll be seeing that traffic building again closer to Nassau Street into downtown Nassau. Blue Hill Road busy for you from St. Vincent all the way up to Independence Drive, especially near Carmichael and north of Soldier Road. Independence Drive seeing some heavy traffic, especially westbound at this hour, but both directions, east and westbound, between the roundabouts at Blue Hill and East Street. East Street busy for you, north and south of the Soldier Road intersection, especially north of Soldier Road. And then we've got Prince Charles Drive at the major intersections, heavy traffic, especially as you get closer to Soldier and heading into Robinson Road, slow-moving westbound traffic there. By the Butler Highway, as usual, heavy traffic northbound from Fire Trail straight up to Tawny Williams Darling Highway, picking up for you at the six-legged roundabout. That's northbound, eastbound on John F. Kennedy Drive, southbound on Providence Highway, and southwestbound on Farrington Road, all seeing issues this morning. Glass Road, slow moving for you, but manageable, especially before you get to Bunnings Road if you're heading northbound. That's a real-time traffic in the Morning Blend Traffic Alert brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Picturing people coming together from everywhere. This is the place I wanna be because of the love in the atmosphere. Oh yeah. Cause when people get together from all around the world, let the party begin. Just let the party begin. I say when people get together from all around the world, let the party begin. Just let the party begin. Now get your hands up in the air, get your flags up, and everybody everywhere we can jump around. Feel the love and the vibes, everyone come alive, let's party. Oh, what a feeling to be.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong with you on this Tuesday morning. We are just a week away from the 2025 CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championship, starting right here in Nassau, Bahamas. And here to tell us all about it, very pleased to have three of the team members, the Junkanoo Boys. You have Julio Jemison, we have Crevin Ferguson, and Leslie St. Fleur. Guys, welcome to the show. Great to have you with us.
It's a pleasure to be here. Morning.
All right, so you all... How excited are you about this? When was the last time we did this here? And how are you feeling right now? You want to start?
I can't remember the last time we did it.
Yeah.
When was that? 2023.
Oh, so not too long. Remember the excitement. They filled the stadiums, definitely.
Yeah.
But how are you feeling now? Get a little bit closer to the mic there.
I'm feeling good now. We've been working hard for it, so we're happy that it's back home again. It's in front of our home fans, and it gives the energy to go there just to have some fun.
I think the Bahamas is long overdue with a beach football tournament. The last few times it's been here, crowd has been out, hoping to continue that. We are doing good. We've been doing a lot of fitness. A lot of the guys seem to be in good spirit, good mood. They're feeling good. They're moving better. So I feel like we're well prepared for the challenges to come. But we still need what we call the sixth man. That's you guys in the stands.
Tell us about that. What difference does that make to have that crowd pulling you on?
Boy, you don't feel fatigue anymore.
A huge difference.
Yeah.
Huge.
Tell us more about it.
I would say, me personally speaking, just hearing the fans just go crazy, all the drums, the cowbells, just pushes you just to want to make them happy and just go for goal. So
yeah. So what is it like when you are in a different country? I mean,
it's booze.
Really,
it's rough. It's rough
because we don't really boo the folks here, right?
Oh, no.
I mean, we're a decent crowd.
Yeah.
Well, it's totally different because when you're in a different country, you're not playing in front of your fans and you don't really get that boost. But being home is a different story. So, like you said, it's no, we don't get booed, but once you get the ball, it's a different.
You know what's for you and what's not for you.
Right. And so there's no excuse. Like you said, we've been filling the stadium, but it's free. So every night we need folks to come out to support.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, we need that stadium just packed in aqua, gold, and black.
Absolutely. All right. So you've been saying you've been doing well. Tell people exactly how well Team Bahamas, how well you've been doing, where you rank compared to the rest of the world.
I think the current ranking in the world, we're like 33. In the region, the CONCACAF region, we're in the top 5 in the region.
Wow. Okay.
And I think that the stats are a bit misleading. If we play a few more games, we're a few of the teams ahead of us. We can say comfortably beat. Yeah.
So how much?
It's not set in stones, the
Yeah.
stats. So team could be 10.
Don't be fooled by the stats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Team could be 10 ranks ahead
Right.
of you, but it's still going to be a matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this championship? If you win this, what will this do?
This will put
Make
us.
history.
Yeah, make history. We'll be the first Caribbean country to qualify for the World Cup through the actual qualification process.
Mm-hmm.
It also boosts our ranking as well.
Yeah.
And then again, we made every quarterfinals, you know, but we never got through to semifinal. But in 2023, we crossed that line.
Right.
And we end up in the semis. But we fall short 50 seconds into make it to the finals. But, you know, this year, well, come 11th, the Bahamas will be fighting to get into finals to go to Seychelles.
Seychelles.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, and that-
so that
that's-
50 seconds will 50 seconds. So
wow.
Yeah. As much we want, we will have to punish. We have to finish our chances early and sit comfortable and don't have to be fighting to come back behind or getting a dog fight with a team. So, like I said, this year we have a chance.
Okay, all right. So tell us more about it. What's going to be happening? What each day you're going to be playing a different team, and you have to win everything, or give us the breakdown of how that's going to work.
All right, each day you play. So you play 11, 12, and the 13th, and you rest the next day. Then the semifinals will be on the Saturday, and the finals will be on the Sunday. So you will be playing each team in your group, and then the top two from each group goes into the semifinal.
Wow. Okay. So tell people who's in the group, so we know who you're going to be facing off against.
In Group A, you have Costa Rica, El Salvador, Mexico, and Guatemala. Group B, you have Bahamas, United States, Trinidad, and Panama.
Yeah,
that's it. There's only 8 teams.
Okay, some of those so it sounds like some big names though. So who are the ones you are keeping an eye on? The ones that you're a little nervous about?
I wouldn't say
nervous. You're not nervous about it. Sorry. Okay, you're not nervous.
Like I said, this is a different team this year. We brought in 1 or 2 younger players in, but we still have the core of the team. And like I said, it's a spirit team this year. Like everyone is ready and focused, and just to go there and have to do what we have to do.
Yeah.
One game at a time, and we just go in there and have fun.
Do you know yet who you're going to be playing each day? Yeah.
Our first game on the 11th at 8 o'clock, we got Bahamas versus Panama. Then on Wednesday, Bahamas versus United States.
Whoa.
Then on Thursday, Bahamas versus Trinidad, 8 o'clock. So most of the Bahamas game will be featuring at 8 o'clock, all last games.
Right.
So
yeah,
that give the fans, everybody
enough time
to come.
No excuse. Go to work, go home and change, and then come out.
Yeah. Bring the kid. If you want to make it a family time, it's the best place to come to the beach soccer stadium. And have some fun, enjoy the entertainment. Everything was going to be out there. We will have a fan zone for kids, whoever wants to, interact with other people and stuff like that. So,
and you said the top 2 teams
from each group
goes
into semifinal.
Right.
So basically, it would have been 16 teams. We had 16 teams, so it'll be the top 8 teams would have gone into quarterfinals, and then you'll play the top 4 go into semis. But now only the top 4 go straight into semifinals this year. So.
Wow. Okay. So what about the other teams? How are they looking? Anybody from what you can tell?
Well, we don't know.
Yeah.
All I know is we know about ourselves. So
Right.
we're not depending on the other team right now. So we don't know how they training, if they training and stuff like that. But we know we've been putting in the work, and we're just ready.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Wow. All right. So you said that this is whoever wins this is going to the World Cup.
The top 2.
Top 2 go.
It don't matter. If you make it to finals, you still qualify.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Just have to make it
Just have to
Sunday.
Yeah.
So what's that looking like? That's that's later this year.
Yeah, maybe.
Right?
I'm thinking. Yeah. So if you make it, so we'll only have 1 month.
Wow.
And then we're back at it again. So
Is that good, or would you prefer more time?
I wouldn't say, I'll say it's good. It's
good, yeah.
Because after that, we'll probably get like a week off, and then we jump right back into it again. So at that time, we'll be going into a momentum going into it. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. So who are the big players in the World Cup? Where are the countries that are the
powerhouses?
The powerhouses. Yeah.
You have Brazil. You
Mhm.
know.
Oh my.
Yeah. Brazil and every version of
soccer, right? Yeah.
is a powerhouse. You also have Italy, Spain, Tahiti. Actually,
Really?
it's probably a name you don't hear about much.
Probably because of the beach.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
Tahiti is the one as well.
Yeah.
Well, we really should be up there, right?
Yeah.
If Tahiti's there, the Bahamas, that's what you think of when you think of beach and beach soccer. Why not?
Why not?
So this is the year.
Yeah.
This is the year. All right, tell us more about your team members, the Junkanoo Boys. Who else we got on there?
We get Julio was a goalkeeper. Then you get Michael Butler, another goalkeeper. And you get Jean Francois, Peter Jomis, Brandon Adderley. Then you have Crevin. Then you have Leslie, which is me. And then you have Timothy Munnins, Lukenzie, Sherry. That's one of the new players.
Okay.
And then we have Renato McCullum. Also, well, he's not new, but he came back. So, and who am I missing? Dwayne Forbes. Then you have Kyle Williams. And I think that's pretty it.
Yeah.
That's 12. Yeah, that's 12.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we know what a goalkeeper does, Julio. But what does a forward do, Crevin? Tell us about your role.
Scoring.
Yeah.
Scoring, lots of running. Lots of teams goalkeeper. And just being someone to depend on when your team needs you to just go forward. But anyone can score in beach soccer, but it's usually down to the forwards. Yeah.
And so Leslie, as a defender, what's your role? How is that different from what Crevin's doing out there?
Well, basically the first goalkeeper. So, as in me stopping the ball from going, then he stopped the shot. So it's basically my work. My job is to defend, attack, recover, stop like block shots and stuff like. So it's basically like it's a teamwork. So everyone have to be on the same page. If one missing, then you know what happens with that. So my job, I have to keep the players them in contact and like listen to the voice and stuff like that. So like it's communication with each other, and like I said, we're there.
Yeah. So it's kind of the nature of the sport. It's 5 persons on the field, so because of the size of the field, everyone has to take part in attacking and defending. So in beach soccer, the forwards are responsible for scoring, but you have defenders that get in there, even goalkeepers scoring from one end to the next.
Right.
It's just the nature of the sport. Yeah.
So it's basically no one has a fit position.
Yeah.
So
involved in everything.
At one point you might end up front, so you will become a striker. So and the striker might end up becoming a defender. So like I said, everybody is you'll be in a different position all the time.
The rules are more or less starting positions, but you'll more than likely won't finish there.
Right. All right. So normally it seems like there's a whole lot of pressure on the goalkeeper, but it's spread out a bit, I guess. Or is it still the most intense position?
It definitely, depending on the keeper you have, it makes a difference in how the team play. Having a keeper that's good with their feet, for example, it expands your gameplay a lot more than a keeper just strictly could use his hands. So what we're lucky to have is 2 very good goalkeepers with the feet. So it opens our gameplay to be a lot more diverse. Yeah.
Wow. So I've come out quite a bit to these, and it's high energy, but explain to folks who might not be familiar with it, the other type of soccer. Explain the differences between beach soccer and let people know what they can expect.
Beach soccer is a lot more goals scored. So it's a lot of back and forth, and it's a lot of oohs and everything like that. But opposed to your regular 11-a-side grass soccer, some people are like, "Oh, it's boring because you wait so long to score."
Right.
But in beach soccer, it's any minute, anything can happen.
Very fast.
Very fast.
Don't blink. You look away and somebody scores.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how usually every game is.
So what is it like training like that? I mean, that is intense, non-stop intensity.
Yeah, it's nonstop. So you're always going at it. That's why we do so much fitness, because you need to be able to run back and forth, then get a ball and try to get it in the net, get a ball, make a pass. So it's a lot of fitness that goes into it. And just given the unpredictability of the sun, it does add an extra uncertainty that fans like, players not so much.
What does that mean? Explain. What do you mean unpredictability?
So you could hit the ball, it's rolling on the ground, coming at you at a decent pace, especially for goalkeepers. This is terrible. So you make a dive towards that direction, it hits a mound and just completely changes direction in the back of the goal.
Yeah.
So it's just, you're never sure what you're going to get.
It won't do that on sand, on grass normally.
Yeah,
right.
Even some shots, sometimes they're going on target, they just hit the sand and bounce over.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just that's good for fans, as I said, but the players not so much.
Yeah. My goodness. So again, that's 3 games before you have a day off. So that's quite a bit there. But again, let people know this is free. This is free. No excuses, right?
REE.
Yeah, free. The price is free.
So you cannot beat that.
And if that was, the game starts 2, 4, 6, and 8. So,
where can people find the schedule so they can see if they want to see some of the other teams playing? Where can they get more
you
information?
can find it on Bahamas FA Net, on TikTok, Instagram.
Okay.
At Bahamas Football.
There for 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
To see the Junkanoo Boys.
A bit earlier.
Or get there a little earlier so you can be in place.
Don't tell Bahamians 8 o'clock.
Right.
Come when the match
7 o'clock.
If they come anywhere after 8, they won't catch another
That's
action
true.
because it's only 36 minutes.
And they might not get a
and
seat
only
either.
3 periods. So
So
they have to be there from, like I said, the game start 2, 4, 6, and 8. So if they want to catch the first, like the last 3 games, they could come at 4, and
Yeah.
because most people will be working at from until about that time. So
5 or so.
Excellent. So we are going to be there and very excited about this. Again, it's March 11th through 16th, right there at the Malcolm Park Beach Soccer Stadium by the foot of the Sitting Party Bridge. The 2025 CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championships. Julio Jemison, Crevin Ferguson, Leslie St. Fleur, thank you so much for being here. Good luck to you guys. We are hoping for big things, World Cup bound, right?
Yes.
So, again, that's starting Tuesday, next week, Tuesday.
Yes.
Wow. All right. Excellent stuff. We're going to break for news and be back. You want to add something else before we go?
Yeah.
All right. Go, Leslie.
Shout out to the sponsors.
Well, sure. Go on.
Ministry of Youth.
Talk right into that, Mike. Let's keep the music going.
Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. Ministry of Tourism, Alive, Heineken, Nassau and Paradise Island Promotion Board, J.S. Johnson, Acupure, Original Parties, Bruce LeFleur and Associate, Insurance Management, Bahamas Waste, Bahamas Wholesale Agency, Gatorade, Guardian Radio, and Corcoran Christie.
Okay, good stuff there. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a break for news and be back with more. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Business. Technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
With escalating for what's next, join us at RF Bahamas Economic Outlook on March 12th at Bahamar, where top global and local experts will break down the key economic, political, and social trends shaping our future. Hear from KT McFarland, former Trump National Security Advisor, and more. Plus, gain CPD credits, powerful insights, and high-impact networking all in one day. Don't miss out. Secure your spot now at rfbeo.com. That's rfbeo.com. RF Bahamas Economic Outlook. See you there.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. Your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Tuesday, March 4th, 2025. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Duquesa will be back with us later in the week. So this morning it's time for a monthly series with Maison Bahamas. We're going to be talking about the residential and commercial property of the month and more in just a bit. But we begin right now with your Morning Blend Business Report. And GDP growth is projected to increase by 1.7% in 2025, coinciding with the lowest unemployment rate since 2008. That's according to Senator Dr. Eurecia Hepburn. Hepburn was also the president of the Bahamas Agriculture Marine Sciences Institute, noting that the tourism industry saw over 11 million arrivals last year, and the financial services sector remains robust. Socioeconomic challenges include climate change, digitization, and social justice. She noted that the government is investing in renewable energy, artificial intelligence, and digitalization, aiming to create new job and business opportunities. The employment rate is at 8.7%, the lowest it's been since 2008, with initiatives like the National Apprenticeship Program addressing soft skills. You can read more about our comments in today's Guardian Business section. IRCA, the Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority, saying in its draft 2025 annual plan that its key goals for 2025 are prioritizing a review of its universal service obligations and universal service fund and facilitating consultations on satellite-based services. IRCA says it will adopt a staggered consultation schedule where possible to allow stakeholders adequate time for input. A universal service obligation refers to a requirement placed on telecommunications companies as regulated by IRCA, to provide affordable, basic telecommunications services to all residents across the country, regardless of their location or income level, ensuring access to a minimum standard of connectivity and essentially guaranteeing universal service within the jurisdiction. Meanwhile, Cable Bahama is criticizing IRCA for not giving advance notice on public consultations, which it claims has led to overlapping consultations that have created significant operational challenges. Cable Bahamas Group, in its response to IRCA's draft annual plan, saying that IRCA's performance in 2024 has shown, quote, areas for improvement with instances such as last-minute license renewal, public consultations, and an unplanned public consultation on the regulatory framework for low Earth orbit satellite licensing. It says that its company understands that it is a dynamic industry. Unplanned interventions may occur occasionally, but there's growing concern about the increasing frequency of unanticipated public consultations being introduced to licensees who are already managing substantial workloads. Overseas, China responding to new U.S. tariffs today by announcing it will impose additional tariffs of up to 15% on imports of key U.S. farm products, including chicken, pork, soy, and beef, and expanded controls of doing business with key U.S. companies. The tariffs announced by the Commerce Ministry will take effect from March 10th, though goods already in transit will be exempt until April 12th. They follow U.S. President Donald Trump's order to raise tariffs on imports of Chinese products to 20% across the board. In fact, today, along with 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico. China is a major importer of American farm products. Purchases dipped after Trump launched a trade war during his first term and then recovered. Now, imports of U.S.-grown chicken, wheat, corn, and cotton face an extra 15% tariff. Tariffs on soybeans, pork, beef, seafood, fruit, vegetables, and dairy products will be increased by 10%. The U.S. tariffs began a day before the annual session of China's parliament, which begins Wednesday and will focus in part on deflation and other issues affecting the world's second-largest economy. And Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum saying today that Mexico will respond to 25% tariffs imposed by the United States with its own retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods. Sheinbaum saying that she will announce the products Mexico will target on Sunday in a public event in Mexico City's Central Plaza, indicating Mexico still hopes to de-escalate the trade war set off by U.S. President Trump. Unlike China, which imposed retaliatory tariffs immediately, Mexico decided to wait until Sunday, though the country has said since January that it had a plan ready for precisely this scenario. The tariffs that had been threatened by U.S. President Trump against Canada and Mexico went into effect today, as we said. Starting just past midnight, imports from Canada and Mexico are now taxed at 25%, with Canadian energy products subject to 10% import duties. Closer to home in your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Monday. Your market movers, AML Foods Limited moving 1,500 shares, closing down 15 cents to $5.95. APD Limited moving 230, unchanged at $44.64. Bank of the Bahamas moving 8,526, up 3 cents to $4.45. Bahamas Waste moving 1,000, down 24 cents to $10.70. Kalina Holdings moving 3,000, up 1 cent to $12.01. And Consolidated Water up 5 cents to $5.48. Emira Incorporated up 13 cents to $9.88. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 3,002.19, down 0.27. That's your Market Watch, and that is your Morning Business Report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. We'll be back with Morning Blend Business after these messages here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Heed the call to action against abuse and violence and for hope and healing. Join Women Walk 2025, Saturday, March 8th at 9 a.m., Clifford Park. Come, walk, pray, wear purple or white, stand up for a strong, healthy community. A free event, Saturday, March 8th at 9 a.m.
I've been up at Pinda and I meet him in the showroom. I said, Pinda, I just come out of a showroom in Portugal and let me tell you something, them showroom and selection ain't got nothing on yours. Man, I like this stock of porcelain and ceramic tile you got here. What I really like is the range of sizes that come in, 8 by 48, 12 by 24, 24 by 24, and what I really like more than the things I really like is the price. From $275 a square foot to $494 a square foot and all in between. You can't beat that, not even with a 2x4 from Enterprises.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
And we are back with Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong with you. And as we said, it's time for a monthly series with Maison Bahamas. Very pleased to have back with us Suzanne Black. And she's brought along a friend, a longtime colleague of us here at Guardian Media Group, Christopher Adderley. Great to have you with us, sir.
Great to be back in the building. Good morning.
Yes,
Good morning.
indeed. It certainly is good to be back.
All right. Hey. So, what are we talking about this morning? I know we have some great properties to highlight.
Absolutely, we do. The main focus is a new listing that Chris has in Roker's Point in Great Exuma, which is ideally located, which he'll tell everyone about, to one of the major resorts there, which gets 5-star ratings. So, you know, it's a company you keep.
Absolutely.
And, of course, Exuma still leads the Bahamas as one of the leading destinations for visitors, wouldn't you say, Chris?
Certainly.
And one of the interesting things, I brought it for you to leave it with you, is why should you should invest in the Bahamas? Now, this covers non-Bahamians or people purchasing from abroad, I should say, all right? But your tax-free environment, currency stability, residency by investments, and high investment value. But truthfully, a lot of it is for the Bahamas and Bahamians, high investment value. I mean, if there's anything we can buy in the Bahamas, it's more valuable than property. Tell me what it is.
Can't think of it.
No, exactly. And Chris can probably tell you quite a bit about it, that the Roker family were the original settlers back in the 18th century, which is fascinating, and descendants of free slaves. And there are a lot of very interesting places to see. But I will go ahead and turn it over to Chris, but good to see you again, Dwight.
All right. Same here. So before you get into it, Chris, are there properties still that Bahamians can afford to buy
Absolutely.
in Exuma?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. So along with everything that's out there in Exuma, I think for a lot of people, they believe that it's already saturated. There's more than enough property in mainland Exuma. You do have everything that's going on in the Exuma Island chain, the private islands. Those may be a little out of reach for, the average everyday investor. However, on mainland Exuma, there's a great amount of land that's still, able to be turned into things like Airbnbs, and there's obviously a lot of that's already going on.
Yeah.
Therefore, I don't think that Bahamians should exclude themselves from the goings-on, especially with all of the development that's still incoming to Exuma.
Excellent. And what about already developed properties with homes on it, apartments? Is there much of a market
Still
left?
there. Yeah. I think what a lot of times what happens is the disconnect between what is affordable and what may be on someone's wish list. And I think, for a lot of folks, just maybe managing those expectations a bit better, they could land themselves in a much better situation than they believe. Not every property has to have an ocean view. You can be around the corner from the beach and still reap the benefits of a beachfront property.
In many ways, that's better.
In some ways, it's an insurance payment as well. You know?
I used to live right on the sea at one point in Nassau, New Providence.
Yeah.
But boy, air conditioners new every 3 years.
Right.
I mean, you couldn't help
Even
it.
silverware rusts,
But,
right?
May I say
It's
this
crazy.
too? I think Bahamians, we don't often think of building a family estate. So buy Chris's property, join the family together, co-invest, and you've got an estate in an island where the value is going to increase, and you have another residence for your descendants. What could be better?
Yeah. So come together.
Come together.
Yeah. With many examples of that around the world, people have been doing that for a long time.
Well, we've got a lot here, but I don't see a lot of Bahamians doing it. That's
Not
not fair.
recently.
Not recently. The butlers and so forth happened, but not recently, and I don't know why that is. That would be a topic.
That is a very good topic. Yeah.
Agreed. So with the property that we have just listed at Maison Bahamas, it is in historic Roker's Point. It is 2 acres, about 20 feet of elevation. There's actually another lot that's of about 3 acres. So altogether, for a formidable investor, we could be looking at a 5-acre plot that literally rises up about 40 feet. And you would have panoramic ocean views, golf course views. There's some wetlands to the north as well, to the northeast of the property. So there's great potential in that for not only a family estate, but even for your investors that may come in and want to do development for Airbnb or, vacation rentals, private rentals, so on.
But the other 3 acres you mentioned, they're available as well. Just we don't have them up.
We don't have them
But we're
listed
working on
just
it, of
just
course.
yet. Working on it,
This is
definitely.
the man to talk to,
Always
Chris.
working.
Or, of course, they can call me,
Always
I'd
working.
be happy to help. Exactly.
And-
But it is a regular shape. We should mention that. Not that that's with 2
No.
acres you can do anything.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
not a big deal. Along with that, in terms of proximity, it's a stone's throw away from the Emerald Bay Resort. As you may know, Sandals has committed $100 million to that resort. That was the Sandals Emerald Bay, with some other development that we can touch on in a little bit. Coming to the island of Exuma, Sandals has repositioned themselves to turn that into a beaches resort. Right. So they're obviously investing where Exuma is not only just getting started, but still has a long ways to go. So along with being near to the Emerald Bay Resort, the marina at Emerald Bay, it is also near to the Grand Isle Resort. So it's set in a location where things are already happening, things are already going on, and we have the utmost confidence that an investor will come in and see that and be able to make something great out of the land.
And of course, we can help investors buy if they want to purchase in the Grand Isle Resort too. And it's a hotel as well, am I correct?
Yes.
So one can come and stay there. But there are also some smaller excellent hotels in Exuma. For example, people coming from New Providence wanting to stay. They're very highly rated. I was very impressed from very good to exceptional, which we don't often see. And I must say, I think the people of Exuma are really nice people, aren't they?
Yeah.
Not as rushed and precious as we are in the capital,
not.
for obvious reasons,
Right.
in fairness. Yeah.
All right, so this is really interesting. It's a beautiful piece of property. So how much room do you have here to do something other than a residential or multifamily type property? Can you do commercial on this? Is that allowed? Is it zoned for something specific? What can you tell us?
Multifamily zoned, just based on where it is. It lends itself best for highest and best use would be a multifamily development, likely Airbnb, something of that nature. Just you wouldn't want to put commercial enterprise there. I don't
put
know
a
if that
shopping
would be.
plaza there.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's the best case scenario for that. No.
Okay.
But you can keep a corner for yourselves, can't you?
Of course.
Like someone developing a small corner keeps the family in itself, and the other
Of course.
develop.
Of course.
Which maybe that's the perfect solution for some people.
Yeah. All right. So again, remind folks about it, the size, and what other things they need to keep in mind with this one.
Historic Rokers Point, 2 acres, 1.998 to be precise. About 20 feet of elevation, just listed last week. Asking price is a very affordable $495,000.
Very well priced.
Very well priced. It was. You mentioned when people see high-end, quote-unquote, luxury property, sometimes they tend to exclude themselves from that.
Right.
This is definitely an opportunity where a few folks can come together
Sure.
and invest in Exuma and reap some of the benefits of what's already going on there. I read up on a very interesting factoid last evening in preparation. In current investments in the Exumas at present is over $1.5 billion. Billion with a B. Right? So there is a lot going on. There is a lot more to come.
Right. No sign of slowing down.
No
right?
sign of slowing down. I mentioned Sandals Emerald Bay. You have that. They've committed $100 million to rebranding and opening as a beaches Exuma. We also have some intimate knowledge and involvement with another development called Kiama, which is on Elizabeth Island.
Exactly.
Which offers eco-friendly development, including fractional and freehold ownership, including luxury solar panel yachts for owners, for use by
One
owners.
of the first in the world, by the way.
This is the one we talked about a few weeks ago, Suzanne.
We talked about it a few
Okay.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yes, and they also have a very extensive global partnership where once you own at Kiama, you can actually move over that this company owns. So, these are the types of opportunities that are available. Lastly, in terms of developments, we also have Rosewood that's coming to East Sampson Key. That's another $200 million development set for completion in 2031. So, we're talking about a long line of development and a really comfortable timeline for people to get their affairs in order and make sure that they're a part of this movement that's happening.
All right, so how can Maison Bahamas help? Let's say 4 or 5 family members come together, invest maybe $100,000 each in this. Anything that people need to keep in mind if they're going to go in that direction?
Let me put it this way. Essentially, we end up, it says advisors, we almost consultants, one might fairly say.
Yeah.
We discuss it with you. We don't recommend any particular bank, but we have contacts with various banks, and if you ask us for names, we're happy to assist you as best we can. The same thing, getting the right legal advice. Right?
Yeah.
We have people with whom we've worked. We're pleased to say that. We don't promote any particular legal firm because that wouldn't be appropriate. So that's how we get help. But part of it is helping people to understand better the process of buying, investing, and then going the next stage. I mean, the contractors, getting the right contractor, that's important, and feeling more confident about it. Because a lot in this world today, and has always depended on how confident one feels about ability to exceed and succeed. Move beyond where we are and succeed where we're going.
Yeah.
And that's what we endeavor to help people to do.
Yeah, I think for a lot of folks, you know, the home buying process is something that for the average person, they may do once, maybe twice in their entire lifetime. And it is certainly, I always, you know, mention to clients or you warn them to a certain extent that it is a process. You know, it's not something that you pick up one day and decide I'm going to do this, and next week you have it, and you know you're not going to Kelly's, right? So
Or
it's
you could
already
go to Kelly's.
it's already a difficult task as it is. You know, you're not going to walk in the store one day and walk out with your product. So it helps to entrust your process to someone that you can trust. And essentially, we deal with, like Suzanne said, we deal with a lot of our partners in the legal firms, at the banks that, you know, we have these relationships with that we have grown over time. So that we're aware of what needs to go on and who's the best person to get it done.
Right.
Yeah.
But we give you a selection normally.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
We give you a selection. Yeah.
On how quickly this might go, is there interest already? What are you seeing or hearing?
We have Chris. Of course.
It's practically sold already.
Exactly.
Could be done by today.
Oh wow.
No. So we do have lots of interest. Like I mentioned, the listing was just set last week. So we have been getting calls. Folks have been coming in, scheduled to be in Exuma week after next to actually take a look at it with some folks. So yeah, things tend to move very quickly when things are well priced, they're in good condition, and like we always say, location. Those are the 3 elements to any good real estate deal. I always, again, advise clients: price, condition, location. Have you ever seen the triangle of fast, easy, and cheap?
Yeah.
If you've ever seen that, envision the same thing for real estate sales. And once you find your sweet spot in any of those 3 elements, I feel like you can find yourself within it.
Are utilities in the area? What do people need to know about that?
Yeah, utilities are in the area.
No concerns.
Very well
there.
developed area.
Right. Yeah, excellent stuff. Okay, so and if someone's interested, what should they do? How do they reach you?
They can reach me by email, of course, Christopher at Maison, Maison, Bahamas.com. My website link is chris.maison.com, maisonbahamas.com. There's a lot of listeners. I'm not sure about giving out the cell phone number here.
Don't do that one. We'll also post this.
I'm usually very open with that, but I don't know.
That's we don't recommend.
Or if we can't get this esteemed gentleman, I'm available. Suzanne at maisonbahamas.com.
So,
all right. So we'll post this on our social media as well, so people
Thank you
can,
very
with
much.
links to both of you there.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
Sounds great.
All right. So Exuma, as you said, it's hot. People want Exuma.
Certainly.
What else do you have for folks? And we can go from affordable in quotation marks to the top of the line stuff that you have there.
Well, we have all the properties, essentially. Bria has a multiple listing service, so all the properties are listed there. And in addition, many of our agents, because I've been in business like Chris for a number of years or myself, we get pocket listings, we call them. People say, I don't want to put it out on the MLS, but if you find the right buyer.
Oh, okay.
And in
Why do
some-
people do that? What would be the benefits of that?
Some people are shy of having to deal with all the calls and this, that, and the other, even though this agent, small town. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know that. I know who owns that, that sort of thing. And some people, maybe they're making up their mind and they want to test the waters. And part of our job, I think, Chris, is to help them do that, don't you think?
Certainly.
Yeah. And that's fine. That's fair. I think we would ask, though, that if you're going to be just testing the waters, let the agent know, let the advisor know, because time is money to us as well as our clients. We want to respect their time, and we ask them to respect ours. I think that's fair.
Very much. More than fair. More than fair. For me, it's a lot of times we get, oh, you're a luxury brokerage. That means you only deal at a certain level. It's I want to sort of reshape the thinking in that our luxury is in the service, not in the product.
Okay.
We certainly do stay at a certain level or would like to stay at a certain level. The reality is there are folks that may not be there at the time. And, for clients, we like to look at lifetime value. Because you purchase a $200,000 lot today doesn't mean you won't be back in the next 4 or 5 years for something that may be a bit bigger.
And we hope you will.
And we hope you will, So the main drive and the main goal is to treat every client from, the lower end to the higher end client the same way and continue in the business in that way, with luxury being the service, not the product.
Excellent. Any other properties, especially in Exuba, that you want to highlight or talk about at today?
Well, we came prepared with what we talked about. I mean, because I know you like in depth. But we do have other listings in Exuma. I would say in all price ranges, wouldn't
Yep.
you?
Well, actually, just a quick little tidbit, because I thought you might ask. We did mention Grand Isle Resort, which is just a stone's throw away from the Rokers Point property. If someone prefers something that's already built, maybe within its own little enclave, we do have some developer units there that are 1 and 2 bedrooms, all under $1 million. So those could be an option as well.
Sort of $500,000 is, I remember, the starting point. For
Right,
the one
exactly,
bedroom.
for the one bedroom.
And they're lovely, absolutely stunning.
Yep. And along with those, if you're Nassau centric, you're not living in Exuma, and that's something that you'd be interested in, they do have rental management programs where it's more of an investment rather than it just sits while you're not there.
It helps to offset your operating costs.
Exactly.
It's basic work too, yeah.
Exactly.
Any limitations on how long you can be there or how often you need to not be there?
If someone's interested, they can give me a call.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly. Yeah, because sometimes it depends.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are a lot of different ways of looking at it.
All right.
Certainly.
Excellent. And we can find out more about those properties again
through myself or Suzanne.
Chris, or give me a call. And let's be honest about every property, but boy, I'm happy to go and look up for a client.
Okay. Good stuff. What other things would you like people to keep in mind at this point? Lots of people on our text line talking about the foreigners buying up everything. That's, as you said already, that's not quite the truth.
Let me put it this way. I think...
Get a little closer to the mic if you don't mind, Suzanne.
No, I don't, I tried to pull it. Oh, I need to
There you go.
do my weightlifting. Generally in life these days, I think we should operate if we can, faith, not fear. There's so much happening. Our neighbor to the north, he's making a lot of changes very quickly. I think many of us are saying, what is that going to do to my life? Is it going to impact the country? Of course, when your neighbor that's bigger sneezes, you may catch a cold. Does it mean we won't be able to overcome and still prosper? Of course not. The Bahamas is here, will continue to be here, and with diligence, working effectively, and faith, I think the future remains ours. We should remember, though, it means doing the right things the right ways. And if I were going to say, small thing, driving here this morning, some of our driving habits, ladies and gentlemen, we ought to do a little better.
It's getting worse out there.
But other than that, hey, I believe in the Bahamas, and we will we will overcome.
All right. So if you are interested, again, you can find a lot of this information on your website
Exactly.
and reach out to you
Yep.
to get all those details. Give your contacts one more time, not the phone numbers, but give your contacts one more time for our listeners.
It's Christopher, standard spelling, at Maison, Maison, Bahamas, MaisonBahamas.com.
And I'm
Okay.
Suzanne, SUZANNE, at MaisonBahamas.com.
Okay. Excellent. Let's take a quick break. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Spain sounds like this. But with a little Caribbean, it can sound like this. The world needs more Caribbean. And with FedEx, you can ship your products to every corner with increased cargo capabilities, 24/7 shipment tracking, and shipping tools. Take your business worldwide and enjoy life a bit more like us.
You work hard for your money, so let your money work hard for you. With as little as $1,000 to start, you can watch your money grow by investing in CFAL's Bahamian dollar and US dollar mutual funds, each tailored to match your unique investment profile. Our expert advisors are dedicated to crafting personalized investment strategies to help you achieve your financial goals. Don't miss out on the chance to earn higher returns on your hard-earned money. Join the thousands of investors who trust CFAL and start your journey toward financial freedom today. Visit us at cfal.com to learn more about our saving and investment options. And let us help you build wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
I've been up at Pinda and I meet him in the showroom. I said, Pinda, I just come out of a showroom in Portugal and let me tell you something, them showroom and selection ain't got nothing on yours. Man, I like this stock of porcelain and ceramic tile you got here. What I really like is the range of sizes that come in, 8 by 48, 12 by 24, 24 by 24, and what I really like more than the things I really like is the price. From $275 a square foot to $494 a square foot and all in between. You can't beat that, not even with a 2x4 from Enterprises.
Heed the call to action against abuse and violence and for hope and healing. Join Women Walk 2025, Saturday, March 8th at 9 a.m., Clifford Park. Come, walk, pray, wear purple or white. Stand up for a strong, healthy community. A free event, Saturday, March 8th at 9 a.m.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamas.
And we are back with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan with you. It's our monthly series with Maison Bahamas. We're talking with Suzanne Black and Christopher Adderley. All right, so we've got a couple of questions. So people asking about foreigners buying all the properties and nothing left. Can Bahamians realistically, even on the Family Islands, afford properties? What is the reality? What is the truth?
The reality is their reality, right? And there may be some pushback for this, but with anything that you want, if you want to buy a new car, on a day-to-day, if you want to buy a meal, you need money for it. Mm-hmm. And this is just a slightly bigger purchase where you would have had to have done some planning, probably some saving, and these are the realities of the situation. There are many Bahamians that can afford it, do afford it, it's happening for them. There are a few more select Bahamians who it may not be happening for right now, but they're working towards it and they're going to make it happen eventually. And, you know, it really takes understanding your personal situation and reality. What's affordable, what's purposeful, what makes sense to you in your very unique personal situation, and moving forward with that. You know, I'm not you, you're not me, we're not Suzanne. And I think for a lot of people, just, you know, becoming more real with themselves and having the right expectations is a great place to start if they really want to do this.
But may I say, too, the other thing is, one of the things someone taught me years ago, and I've always lived on it, know your banker. Get to know your banker early on. Go in and introduce yourself. You may have to wait to see him, this, that, and that. That's part of it, because your banker can help you understand how to structure what you're doing. Yes? Would you agree?
Agree.
That's really important. And the other thing that we spoke about, if you'd like me to go into it, is I mentioned, you asked me about staging at one point.
Right.
And I'm working with a client now who is in a gated community in Nassau, 2 bedrooms, nice property. What did that mean? So I brought in someone. We have someone in-house we can bring in, or we can help you find somebody. And they view the property. There's a small fee for them to give the client a report to saying, here's what you need to do. But, for example, decluttering. A lot of us has a lot of items everywhere. If you're going to sell a property, for example, you want to declutter. So when people come in, they see clear surfaces. The other thing is small things like if you have a patio, and it's gotten very stained as it does with rain and all of that, tidy that up. And you may have to, even depending on what your home is like and what the items in the home mean to how you live, you may have to move out a few pieces if you really want to sell. Now, why does it come to that? Because people are visual. Most of us see something, we get that intuitive reaction, wouldn't you say? And we love it or we don't. And then we convince ourselves it's okay to buy, and we work with the agent to get there. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So it's how to do, what to do. So in this case, it was the patio, scrub it. There are beautiful sea grapes trees all around. You trim those, make them look like a hedge. It does an amazing change for place. Yeah?
Yeah.
Small things. And declutter. The master bedroom, for example, having the sheets and the pillowcases and the spreads to be the right tone for the room, because a lot of people don't bother with that. But when one walks into a bedroom, one visually sees everything at once. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So it's those kinds of things, and a lot of them small things that we don't think about all the time.
A lot of people don't seem to care. I remember when I was buying, like, you all, did you know you were selling this place? Or you didn't even try to. But that's we could do a whole show on that, right? All right, so let's take this call. I want to get back to something Chris said, but let's take this call. First caller, you are on the air. This is Morning Blend Business.
Hey, great show as usual, Dwight and your guest. How you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Yeah, I really love this topic right now, right? But I really want your guests right now to precaution people about purchasing properties on the island based on the fact that people are actually selling generation properties on the island, which is legally not be able to sell. Most people are not unscrupulously doing it because they were actually left properties, so they don't even know it's generation property. They'll be left like about 20, 30, 40 acres of land, which is actually generation property. They think it's this, but it's actually generation. So they'll sell a part of it, and the purchaser will purchase it, right? They'll own it and lose the building and the money and the land because it can't be sold. So be very careful about buying properties on family islands, because you could find yourself in some serious problems.
Okay. Thank you very much, caller. Let's get them to respond to that, Suzanne. Chris?
Well, let me say, I'm sure Chris has some response. The moral of the story is that's why one works with attorneys, and that's why one gets property searches done. That's how that's accomplished. Now, from the point of view of being
Don't
an
buy it directly
agent-
from somebody.
Well, you can, but if you don't check it out. But where we with Maison would come in is we endeavor to make sure that the client has title. We ask to see documents. Is that correct, Chris? We ask to see documents so we know. And if we have a question, we endeavor to sort it out, authenticate it, and say, yes, we can do it, or no, we can't. Yeah? That's part of the situation. The other thing is that in any country in the world, in anywhere, there are always going to be people who try to cheat. So you want to deal with creditable agents, creditable attorneys, doing the right things the right way. Chris, I'll turn it over to you now.
I couldn't have said it better. There are reasons for due diligence in most aspects of life, and I'll mark that down as yet another reason to work with a realtor, a competent advisor that can walk you through certain situations. It may seem easier to just write a check and give someone $15,000 to $20,000 for a property that they say they own. It's probably not the smartest situation to get yourself into.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Wow, let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Strachan. Good morning to your guest.
Hi.
I'd like to thank that caller for highlighting a problem. Now, I like how the gentleman responded, but the thing is, there's a lot of that going on, and so a lot of elderly, like family members, aunties, uncles, they would know the history and the itinerary, right? And so they would cut people out of generational property. But the thing is, I've learned, right, where this cousin and that cousin, and I've learned from some of my aunties, family members that are 80, 90, where family members have annexed, like let's say 50, 60, 70 feet of property that's all family-based, but they didn't tell anyone, and so they decided that they wouldn't do anything because they're all family. And so that is a real, real problem. And so I'm getting stories that they think that your grandparents didn't tell you the whole history, so they think they can get away with it, right? And so because some family members are more financially equipped than others, they use this, and this will be a problem because I plan on suing some of them, and it's really criminal. I don't know how it is allowed. And so that is why maybe some of the people who have money, they buy an island where you get rid of all that problem, because that's an ongoing problem, and something needs to be done to address that problem. Give thanks.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Well, so something that you said earlier, and this is the case for most people, this will be the one big purchase that you make, right?
Yeah.
But is there something, with the price getting higher and higher here, is there something to be said for buying something really small and working your way up to the big dream home that you want? Is that something people should consider? Is there something to that?
Definitely. The main phrase is the best time to buy real estate was yesterday. I don't know what I was doing I can kind of give you an idea of what I was doing in 2004. But some of the properties that I see now, I wish I had the foresight rather than trying to graduate high school. I wish,
we all are there.
I wish I had the foresight to go ahead and maybe try to purchase some property. There are certain gated developments now in the Bahamas. When I started to pay attention to real estate somewhere in the early 2010s, really started to pay attention because I wanted to become licensed and get into the field. There were properties that at that point in time were under 100,000, 120,000 at max. And right now, in some of those gated communities, those properties are now 400, 500,000, and we're talking about less than 15 years, or around about 15 years. So it going back to my point about having a plan and moving forward and working at it. It's not something that is a 2-month, 3-month sort of deal. It definitely takes wherewithal and planning, consideration of any changes that may go on in your personal life. It's possible for people, and I think looking at it with much more of a long-term strategy is really what it takes when it comes to starting small and building up.
Yeah, the other thing, if I may say, is I don't think, where one is at a time, from the point of view of one's financial perspective and this, that, and the other, are realities. And there may be things happening that are out of our control. But you get back to the faith or fear factor, I would say. And what Chris is talking about, and what I think we're endeavoring to say, is have faith, plan, get to know your banker, get to know your real estate agent early. I mean, don't overdo, but at least pay attention to who's in the business.
Yes.
Find out about their reputation if you can.
Yep.
You've got Bahamas Real Estate Association. And just stay alert. And the challenge, I think, for a lot of us is as we start to earn more, we spend more, but not necessarily on the investment that Chris saw that he wanted to buy.
Right. Yep. Yep.
And that's called being human. It's a discipline.
Yeah. I think you answered it already. What I was going to say, to somebody who is in the position you were in back in 2004.
Right.
So somebody just finishing high school or just finishing college and who's thinking, I'll never be able to own, I'm just going to rent forever.
Exactly.
What would you say to that person right now? Advice you'd give to that person?
Information is power.
Exactly.
Information is power. Similar to what Suzanne just said, you take the time, you research, you find what may be able to work for you, what doesn't work for you, you can kind of toss to the side and put it on, a pedestal as a maybe in years to come. And you work within your means and you find a plan that gets you to what you believe is your means for the time being.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, we look at the billion-dollar investments and the multi-million-dollar investments and say, oh, well, those people are buying everything, but that shouldn't concern you because there is a pocket of the market for you because there are still people like you that are out here purchasing property.
Who are buying and selling and
They are
building
buying and
to
selling and
sell
building.
to you.
Yeah.
That's true. And I think truly in the Bahamas, we tend to them, The foreigners them are buying everything. The foreigners them are doing this, that, and the other. Well, at the end of the day, the world is getting, I won't say smaller, but we're going to have to get more used to living with the foreigners them and one another, frankly. Because in a lot of situations, it isn't just about property. It's being a renter and tenant, and having to deal with that. All right. So we, with great respect, and we're all behaving, sitting here, and the listeners, we have to grow more too, which means we have to work for it, get more education, discipline, all of that, all these things. I think this is the generation, we have digitization. Use it to be more informed.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let's take one more call. One more call on the show this morning before we are out of time. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning to you, yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to say to the buyer, beware. When they say that you must get a reputable lawyer, a lawyer, just remember, most of them may be reputable, but it's up to you to exercise due diligence in purchasing properties in the Bahamas.
Absolutely.
As 52 alluded to about generation property, that is a big issue in this country. I can speak personally because when your guest talked about purchasing properties yesterday, it's like if you purchased properties yesterday. My personal fortune comes from purchasing properties when I was young, and my neighbor sold property in the Rhode Island year before last, something I was going to last week with you, and collected $2.25 million net. That property is less than half the size of my property. So to the human populace, I want you all to know, even though you might have a lawyer, do your due diligence, do your research, go deep, go beyond it, and if it means to get a researcher, I know some of them, go as deep as you can, go
Absolutely.
as far back as you can, and make
Great
sure
advice.
Don't get deep into just let anxiety take over you with spending your money too fast. So,
Okay. Great stuff. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right. We've got a minute left to remind again, folks, how they can get more information about what we've talked about today and contact information for both of you.
Well, we have a
Suzanne?
website, Maison Bahamas. One can go on the website. One can see who the agents are. Call Chris. Call yours truly. We'll be happy to help. And, agents work together, too. If my colleague has something that I'm not aware of, but I think it'll help my client, I bring in my colleague. Would you agree?
Yeah.
We have to work as a team. It's a challenging business, and times are challenging. We endeavor to go the extra mile to provide exceptional service.
Excellent.
Most certainly. Contact once again is actually, now that I think about it, you can email Chris or Christopher at maisonbahamas.com.
Oh, fancy.
Just had to, make it a little bit easier. Chris at Maison, MAISON, Bahamas.com. Personal website that is connected to the larger Maison website is chris.maisonbahamas.com. We have all advisor pages as well on the website.
We do indeed.
So you can do your research as to who you'd like to work with. We're here. We're working.
Yeah, and by the way, Maison, I believe in French, Maison means house. Of course, Ryan Knowles, the chief executive officer and founder, came up with the name. I must say, I really like it. House
Definitely.
Bahamas can't be all bad. And I'm Suzanne, plain SUZANNE, Bahamas.com.
And we'll see you again next month. We're
look
now
forward to
doing
it. Thank
first
you.
Tuesdays each month with Maison Bahamas. Suzanne Black, Christopher Adderley, thank you so much for being here this
pleasure.
morning.
Pleasure. Thank you.
And that is going to do it for us today. I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, have a great day, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.